Imagine creating a new application on the web with a little bit of prompting and no programming skills. In this video, I'm going to show you how I updated a GPT agent workflow system that I've been building to have this new diagramming capability. And the best thing is, it only took 10 minutes. Now, the tool we're looking at today is called WebSimAI, and what it is a prompt-driven application generator, but it's a very simple one to use. And what we're looking at on the home page is a bunch of applications that people have created. So if we move down, we've got Minecraft Classic and we've got Glassy Morph Box Designer. So let's go have a look at them. So here's the Minecraft Classic being created, and we're in the water at the moment. We should be able to right click and create some boxes. So this is looking quite interesting already. And moving on, we've got the Glassy Morph Box Designer. So from here, we've got these controls and we can just start playing around with the look and feel of the CSS, and the CSS is being generated right here. The next three, we've got this visualization tool and it's doing different formulations as it goes through. After that, we've got another generation of maps, and we can create a new map here and see how they look. And the last one here is a desktop with a working button. Now, the last two examples we'll look at will lead into how we could use this to create our own sort of application. So what I've got here is one of the tools from the system. They've got create an adventure. This is a D&D sort of thing, and I've just said where an old computer programmer creates an AI visualization tool, and what it's going to do is start generating a story around that. So we've got this story, and here's how your adventure begins in a mystical realm of techno. And we'll just move on to one other example from WebSimAI, and I've said topic AI agent flow diagrams. This is something I want to build for myself, and I've just said target audience is small business owners, and from there we can generate a prompt and it starts doing some work, and it does go over to a new page like we're seeing here where it's going to generate a response from ChatGPT about this. So here we've got an AI agent flow diagram is a visual representation of how artificial intelligence interacts with various processes in your business. Now, 2 weeks ago, I started creating a little tool for myself. This is what it currently looks like. It's a visualization workflow tool where I can design the different workflows I do as a YouTuber, for example. So the particular one we're doing here is a script generation, which I do for an AI channel that I have. And we start from the basic idea and we go all the way through to the metadata in the research phase, then we can move on to developing the script. But what I want to do with WebSimAI today, hopefully, is go and create a diagramming tool so that when I'm looking at the overview here where there's different sections, 2 sections here and a bunch of steps going on, I want to see what they look like visually. I haven't used this tool yet, but what we'll do is we'll go over and click on this login page, and we're going to be given different sorts of login options. I'm going to go with Google in this particular case, and we'll choose the account here and continue. Now we end up on this page, and it looks like I've already created something when I clicked on the submit for one of the applications. But to create something new, apparently you can go in here and type a prompt. You can also select a different model that you want to use. We'll stick with what they're suggesting at the moment. And I've just written a prompt. Now, I haven't used this tool, so I don't even know whether it's going to work. But what we'll do is we'll create an interactive flowchart for an AI agent framework. Each diagram will have a starting point, which is the name of the workflow, example, YouTube scriptwriter. There can be multiple phases in the workflow, example, research video, developer script. And lastly, we've got there can be multiple steps in a phase. So for the research video, it can be a list of ideas on topic, detailed fact sheet about the topic. So let's just press go and see what it comes up with. So what it started to build for us is a form. Now I'm actually looking for a visualization tool, but this is pretty interesting. So we've got interactive AI agent framework flowchart creator. We've got the name of the workflow, the name of the phase, the name of the step. Now if we go back to my own product, and we've got the overview, which is what we're trying to develop, and we go to the research, and what you can do with this particular tool is very similar. So here we have the video ideas section. There'd be input parameters going through a prompt to produce outputs using whatever large language model you want. And that's kind of the sort of stuff that would be going on in the add a step area. As great as this little form looks, it's not what we're after. We're after a flow chart or some sort of mind map. So what I'll do is I'll go back to the tool I've been creating, which is basically workflows with phases, with steps and input and output attributes. And what we'll do is we'll just click on it and we'll copy the workflow. Now what I've done is I've grabbed all the structure here by clicking on that button. And that information is really detailed, but all I really want is the name of the workflow. I want to know the name of the phases or sections, and I want to know the steps. So what we can do is head over to GPT, and I've just pasted the information in, along with, can you extract a simple hierarchy without descriptions? I don't care about that. Just want the headings, basic workflows, sections and steps to include. And ChatGPT has worked out that it's a YouTube scriptwriter. It's got a phase for research, and we've got all those ideas that we were looking at, all the steps. What I'd also like to do is turn it into a visualization here just to see what it could look like. So I got a simple prompt, can you show this flowchart in some sort of ASCII text? And here's a visual diagram. If we looked at it back towards the other system, we've got the YouTube scriptwriter, the research, steps to do, moving all the way through to writing a script. I think we've got the starting point of what I want it to look like. Let's figure out how we can make this happen. I've just created a little prompt here just to make the prompt that we want for WebSimAI. I just want to say, can you give me an overview of the workflow? I think the information in the workflow is relevant, plus a description to my web developer. So WebSimAI is my web developer in this case. So this flowchart could be implemented on a web page. Now, I don't want to dictate how it should happen because I'm not sure how to use this tool yet. So I'm just going to say high-level requirements. Do not suggest any type of technology, but do emphasize that it must be a flowchart because so far it's been a web form. And what we'll do is we'll just run that prompt and see what we get. We got this high level document. It's way too complex. So I've just given it one other statement. Can you make it shorter, say 50 words? And I think this might be good enough for us to start with. We'll head over to WebSimAI, and what do? We'll copy the prompt, paste it in. I think I'll just press enter and see what happens. Currently it's just processing. It's building something visual. This is starting to come together okay. We got research, basic idea, select idea, basic fact sheet. Look, everything's coming through, and then we move on to the developer script, and then we got writing a script. Wow. Now this is nearly good enough for what I want to use it for. Let's just go back to the main application, basically the overview section, which is here. It'd be nice if I could show that particular chart. What I think I'll do is add in my branding colors so that it fits. And there is another slight change I want to do. Apparently you can press this button here. So this is telling WebSimAI that this is one of the ones that you want to work with. I'm not exactly sure what to do next. We'll figure it out as we go. What I'm going to do first is just get a palette in place. Just head over to VS Code, and I have a palette. Primary dark and primary light would be the focus I want. I guess we click on that and I'll just paste it in. I'll say, this is the site palette, something like that. We'll paste it all in. I don't think I want that. So I've just said, can you just change the colors to match my site style? Let's see what it does now. Now, if we just look at this, you can see it's generating all the HTML behind the scenes here. And it's coming together nicely, really good. Now I'm absolutely loving this because in a couple of minutes I've already got the rudiments for a new feature added to my application just by typing a couple of prompts. Look at that, there's also got the highlights coming through. What I'd like to do now is have more of a flowchart visualization. I'm hoping I can get some lines going on here. So let's think about the prompt that we're going to write here. So I've written a prompt here. Can you now draw some connecting lines from step to step? Can the lines be in yellow? Now we've already given the branding color. Also make the arrows at each phase in yellow. Now I'll just take a copy because I'm not sure what will happen. I believe I need to go and click on this button first. We'll click here and see what it generates now. We've got the new HTML initializing and being built. and it's starting to generate. We got yellow. Now it looks like we've got these lines, but this is not looking like what I want. So I think we can come back here. Can we just click on this? And we do have a color scheme I like. Is this the export? What's this? Copy, download the website. That's what I want to do. So let's just click on that button. I'm just going to head over to Visual Studio and I'm going to take the file that we've got and let's just throw it down the bottom here. And we've got all this HTML, a whole lot of styling going on. Looks like there's some on-click events. I didn't even test them, so we could check them out right now. So let's open this with a live server and we'll test clicking on one of them. Look at that, it actually works. I didn't even think that it had done that. Now, when I implement this, clicking on these buttons should actually just take you to the phase research or develop script and then the particular step that you want to get to. So it should just be a navigation tool. So we really want to get all this HTML over into here. But the things that we've got to keep in mind is that if we look at the stats, for instance, we're using Tailwind and nothing going on here is Tailwind. It's all custom CSS. And we are using Astro, so that's the component architecture I'm using in this particular project. So what I've done is gone to the main workflow and I've just added in a concept called workflow, and we'll just start it off with something simple like this. And we've got a panel here, which is where we want our new code to go. Now, in thinking about how I'm going to get all of this code into here, I've got a couple of different ways we can do it. We could head over to WebSimAI. And if we go over, we can see the last creation here. I'm going to do a bookmark. I do want to keep track of it. I believe this is going to be really difficult to get it into Tailwind CSS. Now we should just try. I think let's just copy this and see what happens if we paste it in. Let's remove the body and the HTML up here. We'll get rid of the title. I don't think anything related to, I don't want the fonts, and this, it shouldn't be in the body. Well, let's just put it into a container, I guess, and we'll hit save. And there we go. Cool. So that worked. It wasn't even smart for me to try and do it in Tailwind. I could have left it in raw CSS. Now I won't. I will convert these into components. So I'm going to write a simple prompt that uses my Astro component as a starting point. So I'm just trying with, can you recreate this page looking just the way you have it, but can you put it into my Tailwind Astro component using Tailwind classes such as primary dark, primary light, white, and yellow. I will give you the starting component. So we'll just paste in the component as we have here, and let's see what it comes up with. So this is a different screen and we're producing something, and it is obviously trying to render it and going, well, I don't know what to do here. So that's a fail, but we can just copy that. We'll come back to here if possible. So we just take the Astro out of it because it did not know what to do with that. Hopefully it can work with Tailwind, and we'll see what we get now. That may have actually worked. So I've just pulled up the source code here and I think it's using Tailwind. Let's just look for that. We've certainly got classes that look like Tailwind. Let's do a download. We'll drag in the new file. It's here and it's looking okay. We've got some, we don't need that, but we should just be able to copy this information here. There's also the modal dialog. Let's just plug it in here. We'll hit save. We'll bring up the website and let's just zoom in a little bit, and hey, that's working. And I will just clean up this component just for the end of the video. But firstly, this is incredible. I love what this software is doing. People are using it to create applications from scratch, but for me, I just want to extend my own applications, and it looks like it can do a relatively good job. So that's WebSimAI. It's quite incredible. I'm Appy Dave. I tend to do videos on ChatGPT tools, prompt engineering, AI agents. So if you've got any questions, drop a comment down below. If you want to find out more about the GPT workflow tool that I'm developing, then there's also a link down below regarding that. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.